Hey guys, and welcome into a tutorial video. I've never actually done a tutorial video before, so this is going to be interesting. But I wanted to do it because I've had a couple of questions about how I do my thumbnails and my banners and YouTube stuff. So I'm going to go through a couple of things, some simple steps. Starting to get you guys started, I use BeFunky, which is a website, befunky.com. That's the thing I personally use. I use the premium version, but free version does pretty much the same stuff. It just doesn't have as many options. But you should be able to do everything I do on the free version. So first things first, how do I make my thumbnails? Okay, so I haven't got any fancy stuff like Photoshop because I'm poor. But what I do have is my go-to thing. So if you go up to upload and then go to computer and use yellow background, make sure to, if you're going to be using a thumbnail, best thing to do is make sure it's something that's bold and stands out, gets you right in the eye, so your attention is pulled to it. So I use a standard yellow background for all my videos, and you can see down the left hand side I got a load of different options here: crop, rotate, cut out, all that kind of stuff. You've got touch up, which includes kind of like blemish fixes, that kind of stuff. That's not really usable on this. Different kind of chromatic effects, black and white, frames. You've got different graphics and stuff you can put on things, and so we're not going to be touching that, I suppose, today. But one thing I wanted to show you how we start. So layer manager is basically where everything I use is. I've saved a couple of things to this that I use in general videos, like my Fallout and GTA videos, my Roxy Report stuff. These are kind of bog standard things that I kind of have at hand at all times that are actually saved on the website. But what we're going to do today is we're just going to load in this. Let's quickly first show you what it looks like. So if I was to make sure most of your files are in PNG, because PNG is a lot easier to use. So you've got a picture of my dad here. Okay, so I can stretch him out and I can basically place him wherever I want him to go. So of course this picture was obviously cropped. His head was above the camera, so you've got to put him near the top. So it's that simple. If you notice here, this is a straight line, so of course you want to have this twisted round. So you just come into options, you just click on the image, come to options, and then you flip horizontal. So you guys can see there that I can have him like this, and then I could have an explosion behind him, because of course everyone needs explosions. So you can see there is actually overlapping. So what you do is you go to options and then go to move backwards, and now you can see it's actually behind him. And let's have something else. I don't know. Let's have Boone. So we can basically, this is a really easy way of making thumbnails for YouTube. It's probably the easiest way I know how to do it. And I'll show you guys how I cut these out in the first place, because I cut all of these pictures out separately apart from the explosion. So as you guys can see there, we've got Boone in the picture as well. So it's really simple to make something that stands out and is explosive and looks really cool. Right, so we've got nothing on the page. So if we go to add layer, got this picture of me and Aaron here. So I want this picture, I want all this background to be cut out. So we go to cutout. So if I'll show you that, guys, again if you missed it. You click on the picture and then go to this button here, cutout, and then it will appear like this. So you've got a few different options here. Personally, I use paint because it's a hell of a lot easier and very precise. So I normally put it to max brush size and feather to about 50. So you guys can see here, if I start coloring in my head, that's the picture. So as you guys can see there, that is now cut out. So we click OK, and then I can move this around. So of course you've got some jaggy edges and that kind of thing. So what we do is we click on the image again, and then you can cut out again. You can do this infinite amount of times, which is really useful. So we go to brush size, make it a bit smaller. You've got a zoom in thing here. I've got a big zoom in of my face there. If you hold down space on your keyboard, If you hold down space, you see there the icon changes. So if you hold down space, keep it held down, and then hold and click your mouse, you can move around the picture. So if I was zoomed, let's say here, no, that's not right. Let me get rid of that. If I was zoomed in here, I could actually move it around while I'm doing things. So we've got Aaron's face there. It's lovely. So I need to get rid of these jaggy edges. So you go up to here, erase icon, and then basically you just I find this really relaxing, and normally what I'll do is just turn on some music and do this, and just kind of spend about half an hour doing one of these thumbnails. So there you go. That's a lot cleaner in terms of. BeFunky has a really nice feature where it kind of pinpoints where you are, so you guys see those lines come up, and basically those lines help you ruler out where you need to put things. So that's the center line that's just appeared there. So if I was to put this around here, that is exactly center, which is really nice, and it does that automatically for you. You don't have to press anything separately to do that. If you want to make a background for YouTube, all you have to do is go into Designer, and what I normally use is templates, and then it's blank templates, social media, and you guys can see there's a YouTube header. So if I was to go to my dashboard, one thing to be wary about in terms of doing YouTube stuff is if I go to my channel here a second and go to, this is my banner, okay, this is the one I made going back quite a while ago. I have edited it to add the new Facebook thing, but if you go up to here, you got channel art. So if I was to find a picture, so have I got any gallery photos on here? Yeah, I've got some old ones. Okay, so if I was to, I don't know, have that. See, now, basically what you can see there is, this is the picture you're going to have on this TV one, is what you basically have made on BeFunky. But what it does is it chooses a certain section of that to use as the main desktop one, which is the one most people are going to see in the mobile version. So you have to be careful, and it takes a lot of editing because you need to make sure that is in the right place on the TV section, that it fits the desktop preview. You can auto enhance as well, and it will kind of go through and edit things a little bit differently. But it's really finicky, and it's not very simple, because if you make a perfect banner like this, or like something with like stuff in the background or something like that, it'll basically be cut off on pretty much every device apart from your TV, which no one really watches YouTube on TV. Okay, so I got this picture of my dad in the vlog from a couple of weeks ago doing the gun kind of pose, and I've cut him out. So what I can do is I can go to go to blur, and I can blur this out. If you're not going to be using a yellow background and you want to make your images pop a little bit more, this is a really good way to do it. So if we grab my dad a little bit here, and then kind of pull him out and try and line him up with the rest of his body, that looks about right, maybe a little bit bigger. So you guys can see he pops out of that image a little bit more than he would have if it wasn't blurred, and I really like that effect, because you can then layer stuff behind that. So if I was to have Boone, I could actually have him with options layered behind my dad in the single image, if that makes any sense. So you can layer stuff to your heart's content, which is really nice, and it allows for some really awesome kind of pictures and some really kind of clever thumbnails, and I really like that feature. So that's my tutorial for making thumbnails, the simple idiot version, because everyone else uses Photoshop and I'm too lazy to learn. But yeah, so that's the beginner's guide to thumbnails. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like and maybe share it with your friends. That really helped me out. Thanks for watching, but until next time, that's my dad and Boone out. Bye guys.